Welcome back. This is Naresh. So, till now we have seen certain operations in JMeter, and today we will see how to test our database while using JMeter. Alright, so if I open JMeter, you will see there's no project right now, but now we will create a project to connect with the database. So, the prerequisite for that, you should have a database on your computer. So, what you can do, you can just go to Google, and there you can just go Google and just type MySQL database. All right. And once you are on this link, just click on this MySQL downloads. All right. And this is the link through which you can download our MySQL. And here, if you see, there is a community edition which is free. Okay. So you don't have to pay for this. Just click on that. And in the left hand side, it will give you from where resources where you can download it. Just click on MySQL on Windows. All right, and under Windows, there are three links we need to take care of. One is MySQL installer, one is MySQL connectors, and one is MySQL Workbench. Okay, so basically, this is the MySQL server with a client which is on the command prompt. So you can download this so that it can install the MySQL server for you. This is the jar file which we need, and this is the MySQL client which is has a GUI. Okay. So once you install that, it will once you install this client, it will ask you that the default port number, and it will ask you for the ID and password of your database. So you just have to note that down. So what I have did, I have just noted down the ID and password. The root is the ID and root is the password, which is by default for the database. Okay, so I have just noted down while installing it. So I've already done that. So I'm not doing it again. I have already done that once. Okay, so this is the way you can do that. And once you will open this MySQL Workbench, so this is a window which get open. Let me just close it and open again. Okay, so once these three things are installed, what you need to do, you have to open MySQL Workbench. Okay, so you can just wherever it is installed, you can just click on MySQL, and it will show you the link. Okay, like this. You just have to click on this link, and it will open the MySQL for you. And the jar file which you've downloaded through MySQL connector, those jar file you have to place somewhere. And what you can do for those jar file, you can just go to the place where you have put your JMeter. So let me do a right click, and let me go to the place where my JMeter is. So I will click on open file location from here, and it will open the JMeter. So I'm using JMeter 5.0. In that, you have to go to this folder, Apache JMeter. So you have to go to the lib folder. You don't have to go to the bin folder, because from bin folder we are starting the jmeter.bat file. We have to go to the lib folder, and in lib folder, here you have to copy all the jars which is downloaded through that link. Okay, so let me show you the jar file also. So I have already installed it once. Okay, wait. Selenium standalone server. Yeah, so this is a folder, MySQL connector Java. So this is a jar file which get downloaded. One is this jar file and one is inside the lib jar file. So you copy all these jar file, and you can go to the place where your JMeter is. And here you can go to here, Apache JMeter, go to lib folder and just paste everything here. Okay. Once you have given all your jar files into the lib folder, what you can do, you can see our MySQL Workbench is open, and this is the database which is on MySQL Workbench. I'm just clicking on this, right? So it will open this database for me. Now you have to start your JMeter. Make it sure once you copy the jar file, you have to restart your JMeter if that is already open. If it is not already open, you can just start your JMeter, and that will take care of the jar file which you have added. So this is a blank project, and if you see, this database also open, and if you see, there are three tables given here under the world database. Okay, there are many databases given, but there is a world database, and in that there's a table. There are three tables given. If I want to see what is given in my city table, so I can, just give select star from the city, and I can give, like this. If I just want to make it simple, I will give just select star from the city, and I will run it. Okay, so it will run it, and it will give me all the rows. And if I want to just, want a particular like want to see a particular report, I want to see with the name of Kabul. I want to see the row where city name is Kabul. So I will give this SQL select star from city where name equal to Kabul, and then I will run it again. Okay, so it will give me one row. Now let's see how to use it in our JMeter. So in JMeter, what we need to do first, we need to do a right click. Okay, and then we have to first use a thread group. So we know by default it give me one user. Now again, we need to do a right click on this test plan. And then if you see there's a config element, and in that we have to choose JDBC connection configuration. Okay, so we have to give our connection configuration here. All right, so here you can see this, there is a database URL which we need to give. So I have already noted down the database URL. This is the URL for my database. That would be JDBC colon, then MySQL colon, and then whatever, because by default when you install the JDBC on your computer, it will be installed on the local host, that is your computer, at the port 3306. So that is the default one. So when you are installing the MySQL, you have to note it down that what is the port number it is giving you. Most of the time, 99% it is 3306, but you can just look into that when you're installing it. Okay, so I'm just copying this up to here, up to my database name. I'm not copying the ID and password. So I'm doing a control C and I'm pasting it in my database URL. Okay. Now here I need to give my username and password. All right. So what I can do, I can just copy this root and I'll paste in username and password. And here I need to give the driver of the JDBC. So this is the driver of the JDBC, which is com.mysql.cj.jdbc driver. Sometimes there's no .cj. You just have to write com.mysql.jdbc for driver. But as I find out that this is the correct class which I need to give, so I'm giving this one. Okay, so just try that first before you remove the CJ. So now everything is given for this JDBC connection. What I need to give now, I can do a right click on thread group and then I can go to sampler. Okay, so in sampler, I don't have to go to this. I don't have to give the HTTP request. I have to give the JDBC request. So let's see. Here's the JDBC request, and this is the JDBC request, and this is the select statement which I want to use. So I want to use the same query which I have used before. So what I will do, I can just copy this, all right, and I will paste it here. All right, so everything is done now, and I just need to look the results where my results are. So I will just go ahead. Okay, so if you see JDBC connection is at the bottom, let me just take it to at the top to have a more clarity, because now this JDBC connection, like I have given at the test plan level. So that's mean I need, if I need to use this, then I can use this for any of the test group. I can create a different test group also, but till now I've just created one thread group. Okay. All right. So now next I need to do a right click and I need to add, let's add a listener here. Okay. View result tree and add one more listener here. Okay, which is view result in table. All right, so this will give me that if this thing is working fine or not. Let's try to run it. You should save the test plan. Okay, let me save it and I will give it my thread group JDBC. Okay, so this has been added and now let's run it. Scene table. It has not run. Let me just check. All right, so let's see. There's an error here which is given. Let me click on this and let's see what is the error. Okay, it says the variable name must be empty for element. Okay, so it seems that we have not given a variable name here. So if you go to the JDBC connection here, you will see that it says a variable name bound to pool. So I need to give some variable name here. So I can give test variable name here. Okay, and if I go to JDBC request, here also it says that variable name of pool declared in JDBC. So I will call it as test. So it's mean that sorry, in order to connect this connection configuration with this request, I need to give some name here. So that's mean there can be a multiple connection also, and it depends upon my requirement that which configuration I want to connect with the JDBC request. All right. So what we will do now, we will try to run it again. So let's run. Okay, so it seems that now it's working fine and I am getting the results. Okay, so if you see the response data also, I'm getting the response because I have increased the thread group to 5, so I'm getting a multiple response here. Okay, so this is the way we make a connection with the JDBC. Now let's assume that I want to assert something. Okay, so what I will do for the assertion purpose, I can do a right click here on thread group, add, and I can go to assertion, and here I can click on response assertion. All right, so assume that what I need to assert here, assume I need to assert the country. Okay, that is AFG. All right, so in the response assertion, I can go here, main samples, text response, and then contains, and I can give here, so whatever I have got, I can give a response as a AFG. Okay, so I will give here AFG. All right, and now I will try to run it again. Let's see. Okay, so let me remove from the previous one all the results, so there's no result now. Let me run it again. All right, so it is running fine and I am getting AFG here. If in case I give something else, AFK, all right, and now let's try to run it again. All right, so it's failing now, and if you go here, it will show you AFG, and if I go response assertion, it says that it has not found the AFK. All right, so this is the way we can do an assertion of JDBC, but right now we are just giving the string AFK. Let's say instead of that, what I want to know that, my this is coming at a particular statement. That response which I am getting, the AFG, I am getting it on the first row in the third column. So how would I do that? So I need to give some advanced assertion. So how would I do that? First, let me correct this. Make it as AFG only. Okay. And for the advanced assertion, what I can do in the JDBC request, okay. For the advanced assertion, I can just go to JDBC request, and in that request, let me close this logs. Okay. There is a row which is called variable name. So I need to give different variable name where what I am receiving. So if you see here the results, let me just run it one more time. Okay. So if you see here in the results, in the response data, I am getting all these results, right? And this is my column 1, column 2, column 3, 4, 5, and 6. So there are totally 6 columns. If I want to assert the third column, I just need to go here in JDBC request, and I can give a variable name as comma, comma, and then column 3. Okay, so I want to assert column 3, and in the response assertion, what I can do here, I can give here column 3 underscore the row number. So it is on the first row. Okay, so I want to assert the first row with AFG. All right, so let me just go ahead and clear this and run it again. Okay, so see, everything is opening fine right now. Let's assume that I am giving on the second row. Okay, and now let's try to run it. Okay, you can see everything is failing here, and if I go here and if I go to response assertion, it says that response was null, so it was not able to find it and it has given a null value. So this is the way we can go ahead and assert some particular column and row in our database connection. All right, so this is all for the JDBC connection. If you like the video, please hit on the like button, and thank you for watching.